I was born in the Bronx and moved out to Long Island when I was about 8 years old. And like most American athletes in those days, I played American football and basketball and baseball. And it wasn't until I was 16 years old that my high school had the worst American football team in the world. We were 0-10, and we didn't score a touchdown all year. The soccer coach came up to me and said, look, you could struggle in high school with American football and we'll probably never win a game, or I need a goalkeeper. He brought me out to the field and I saw 10 guys running around like crazy, and one guy was dressed all in black, looking cool. And the very next week, we got hammered. I'm making saves, I'm diving, I'm punching people, and I got hooked on the sport. And that was really the first time I played in goal, first time I saw a game, and it ended up to be really a turning point in the direction of my life. My initial experience with the New York Cosmos is really surreal because I had graduated from Harvard, played in the Olympics, and I was enrolled at Fordham Law School the following fall. And I found out that I had been drafted in the first ever college draft in the old NASL by a team called Montreal Olympique. But on the weekends, for fun, I was playing in the German American League for Gordon Bradley, and I was playing for KLM Airlines. We had fake jobs where they paid us basically to fly around the world and represent KLM Airlines. And Gordon said to me on one of those trips, I think we were in Aruba, and he said, I know you have school next week, but you've been drafted by the Montreal Olympique, and I'd really like you to play for the New York Cosmos. I said, Gordon, I've never heard of the league, but if you're asking me would I rather play in New York than Montreal, absolutely. So how do I do that? And he said, well, I have to trade, but there's not a lot of money involved. I'm going to trade for your rights with a player named Flash Oliveira. And I said, Gordon, that's the coolest thing in the world. And I'll never forget Gordon Bradley, after the first week of practice, offering me my first pro contract. And we practiced at Hofstra, and after training, he said, I'd like to offer you a contract. Meet me at Burger King on Hempstead Turnpike after the game. And I was really excited about it. I figured Harvard education, Fordham Law School, I know how to be my own agent and represent myself. I'm going to really be tough in this negotiation. So Gordon brought me after practice to Burger King, and he ordered French fries and a double cheeseburger, and we sat down at the table, and he said, he's chewing on his cheeseburger, and he said, look, you're one of the best college players I've seen. You're an equivalent of two other American players we have, and I'd like to offer you $2,300 for the season. And he took another bite of his cheeseburger. And I collected my wits and I said, Gordon, how would you feel if I told you I had to think about it? And he took another bite and he said, I couldn't care less. So I signed the contract for $2,300. When I think back to those days for the New York Cosmos, it was really just a bunch of bad boys who loved to play soccer. We were a band of brothers, and we just had fun. We couldn't wait for the game to be over to go out for a drink or go out on the town, and all of us used to just huddle together and try and figure out where the next road trip was. By no means do I mean to imply that we weren't serious about the game. It's the equivalent of drinking, a fight, and a soccer game broke out in between. But that kind of atmosphere really made it possible to create a bond among the players that sort of transcended the sport. We felt like we were fortunate to be doing something we loved, and I guess we partied to celebrate it.